Have you ever crossed paths with someone whose mere presence spells trouble, an undercurrent of malevolence pulsating from their core? What if I told you that evil walks among us, often cloaked in the guise of normalcy, masquerading as one of us? Today, armed with the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, we embark on a stark exploration to unearth the veiled signs of malevolence. This journey is not for the faint-hearted. Brace yourself as we strip away the masks to reveal the sinister traits of evil lurking in human form. Through the Stoic lens, we will dissect these behaviors, offering you the shield of knowledge to protect yourself and those you care about. And as we delve into these dark corridors of the human psyche, I urge you not only to listen but to engage. Subscribe to the channel for more insights like these. Hit the like button if you find our journey enlightening, and join the conversation in the comments below. Your thoughts and experiences enrich our collective understanding. Now let's reveal the shadowy figures hiding in plain sight. Are you ready to see them? Sign 1. Mastery of manipulation. In the shadowy recesses of human interaction, manipulation emerges as the preferred arsenal of those harboring evil intentions. These architects of deceit skillfully twist reality, crafting illusions that ensnare the unsuspecting. They operate not with weapons that wound the flesh, but with tactics that warp the mind, leading their victims astray. It is a sinister form of control, hidden beneath layers of charm and charisma, where the manipulator bends the will of others to serve their nefarious purposes. But what is the fabric of this dark art? Manipulation involves exploiting the emotions and vulnerabilities of others, turning their fears, desires, and hopes into strings to be pulled. These puppeteers crafts in areas that leave little room for their prey to maneuver, boxing them into corners from which the only escape seems to be the path carefully laid out by the manipulator. This path, however, leads only to further entanglement in the web of deceit. In the face of such cunning, how does one stand unyielding? The ancient wisdom of Stoicism arms us with the mental fortitude necessary to dismantle these manipulative schemes. Stoicism teaches us to foster a core of emotional resilience, encouraging us to view our emotions objectively and recognize when they are being targeted by manipulative tactics. By understanding our internal responses, we can prevent our strings from being pulled. Moreover, Stoicism advocates for the practice of prosoph, or attentive awareness, which empowers us to remain vigilant and discerning. Through this heightened awareness, we can perceive the subtle cues and patterns that betray manipulative intent. It teaches us that the first step in avoiding the trap is knowing of its existence. Furthermore, the Stoic principle of focusing only on what is within our control helps us to detach from manipulative influences. It reinforces the fortress of our will, ensuring that we do not surrender our decisions to those who would manipulate us. Stoicism does not merely advise resistance, it provides the tools for an impregnable defense. By deploying these Stoic defenses, we can stand as immovable objects against the unstoppable force of manipulative individuals. We can ensure that our minds remain our sanctuaries, inviolable and serene amidst the chaos that manipulators seek to create. So arm yourself with the knowledge and vigilance that Stoicism provides, and let your mind be a bastion against the dark arts of manipulation. Sign 2. Empathy's void. In the chilling panorama of human vices, the absence of empathy is not just a trait, it is a profound darkness that defines the essence of evil. Those devoid of empathy view others not as beings with feelings and rights, but as tools to be exploited or obstacles to be overcome. This chilling lack of concern for the pain and suffering of others is not merely indifference. It is a revelry in the discomfort and turmoil they can orchestrate. This void where empathy should reside allows for cruelty to flourish, unchecked by the bonds of common human decency. Why does this matter? Because empathy is the fabric that binds society together. It is the ability to feel with another, step into their shoes and experience emotions. Without this, there is no moral compass, only a self-serving agenda that thrives on the exploitation of others. These individuals, these predators of emotion, walk among us cloaked in the guise of normalcy, their true nature obscured by a well-rehearsed act of charm and deceit. How does one shield oneself from such soulless entities? Stoicism, with its rich reservoir of wisdom, offers a fortress of rational compassion. Stoics understand that empathy is not merely an emotional response but a deliberate and rational choice. They teach us that to embody empathy is to recognize our shared human experience, to acknowledge that we are part of a larger whole, and to act with justice and kindness even in the face of those who lack such virtues. The Stoic approach to empathy is proactive and preventive. It advocates for a deep understanding of human nature, including its darker sides, to better anticipate and neutralize the impacts of those who operate without empathy. This Stoic shield does not merely protect the individual but fortifies them to assist others who might fall victim to such cold-hearted manipulations. By cultivating a strong, rational empathy, we can maintain our ethical integrity even in environments that challenge our humanity. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches that the deficit of empathy in another should not provoke us to hate but to a deeper understanding and vigilance. Marcus Aurelius, a paragon of Stoic thought, counseled that the best revenge against those who harm you is not to become like them. Thus, we are reminded that to counteract the void of empathy in others, we must amplify the virtues of understanding and compassion within ourselves. By embracing Stoic principles, we transform our empathy into a powerful tool against the darkness of emotional exploitation. It becomes a beacon that not only illuminates our path but also guides others away from the shadows cast by those lacking in human decency. In this confrontation with evil, our empathy, tempered with Stoic wisdom, becomes our most formidable weapon. It ensures that in a world where some may wander lost in their moral blindness, we remain vigilant and unyielding defenders of the light. Let us carry this shield of empathy forward, nurturing a resilience that is both compassionate and wise. Sign 3. The Deceitful Web. In the arsenal of the malevolent, deceit stands as a weapon of choice, wielded with a proficiency that chills the soul. These purveyors of falsehood weave intricate webs, constructing realities fabricated from the ether of lies. For them, dishonesty is not a choice but a way of being, as natural and necessary as breathing. Their words, laced with the venom of deceit, are designed not just to mislead but to entrap, ensnaring the unwary in a labyrinth from which there seems no escape. The essence of their deceit is not merely in the lies told but in the trust betrayed. Each false word is a thread in a larger tapestry of manipulation, painting portraits of loyalty and sincerity while masking intentions dark and foul. They build their thrones upon these lies, ruling domains of confusion and doubt, where truth becomes a casualty to their ambitions. How then, amidst this storm of falsehoods, can one remain anchored in truth? The Stoic philosophy offers not just a refuge but a counterstrike. Stoicism teaches us the virtue of prohesia, fearless speech, which compels us to honor truth, even in the face of adversity. Stoics stand as beacons of integrity, their commitment to truth a stark contrast to the fluid ethics of the deceitful. The Stoic countermeasure to deceit is a life lived in accordance to nature and reason, where truth is not just a moral choice but a foundational pillar of existence. Stoics understand that while we cannot always control the actions of others, we can govern our responses, and in our response lies our power. By cultivating an unyielding allegiance to truth, we shield ourselves and our communities from the corrosive effects of lies. Moreover, Stoicism advocates for a proactive engagement with reality, encouraging us to question, to verify, and to seek understanding. This discipline of the mind sharpens our ability to discern the genuine from the counterfeit. It teaches us that the shield against deceit is not cynicism but critical thinking, not isolation but informed engagement. In employing these Stoic defenses, we do more than protect ourselves, we challenge the very foundation of deceit. Each act of honesty, each moment of truth-telling, is a strike against the webs of falsehood. It dismantles the illusion, thread by thread, revealing the stark emptiness at the heart of deceit. Thus, as we navigate through the murky waters where deceitful currents flow, let us hold fast to the Stoic resolve of unwavering truth. Let us be the lighthouses in the fog of dishonesty, guiding lost ships to safe harbor. For in a world where deception seeks to rule, the greatest rebellion is to live a life of transparent truth. This is our charge, our shield, and our legacy, Stoic warriors in the battle against the deceitful web. Sign 4. Connoisseurs. Within the shadowy realms of human behavior, there exists a breed of malevolence that not only survives in chaos but thrives within it. These chaos connoisseurs craft turmoil as if it were an art form, meticulously orchestrating disruptions that unsettle the unsuspecting and the stable alike. For them, chaos is not a state to avoid but a weapon to wield, a tool to break down the structures of order and harvest the spoils from the confusion they create. These architects of disorder understand that in chaos, power structures blur, rules bend, and vulnerabilities are exposed. They capitalize on this disarray, manipulating fears and exploiting weaknesses, all while presenting themselves as saviors amid the storm they themselves have summoned. Their ultimate aim, to destabilize to uproot foundations for personal gain, ensuring they emerge onto the new order they envision. But against this backdrop of orchestrated chaos, Stoicism stands as a bulwark of serenity and stability. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the only true chaos lies not in the world around us but within the turmoil of our souls. Stoics cultivate an inner calm that remains untouched by external disorder, a tranquility that stems from aligning with nature and reason. The Stoic calm is not passive, it is an active engagement with life's tumult through the lens of virtue and reason. Stoicism instructs us to focus on what is within our control, our responses, our decisions, our virtues. By doing so, we deny chaos the fuel it needs to spread. We transform ourselves into islands of stability in a sea of turmoil, guiding beacons for those lost in the storm. Furthermore, Stoicism promotes prohairesis, the moral will, empowering us to choose our reactions deliberately, consciously, and align with our deepest values. This inner fortress is impervious to the whirlwinds of chaos stirred up by those who thrive on disruption. It enables us to confront chaos not with fear, but with a poised readiness that turns crises into opportunities for growth and affirmation of our principles. In practicing these Stoic virtues, we not only protect ourselves but also inoculate our communities against the spread of chaos. Our calm becomes contagious, inspiring others to seek stability within themselves, thereby undermining the chaos connoisseur's ability to manipulate. Each person who adopts this Stoic serenity strengthens the collective resilience, weaving a fabric of societal stability that no amount of orchestrated chaos can tear apart. Thus, as we face those who delight in the cultivation of chaos, let us hold steadfast to our Stoic calm. Let this calm be our guide through storms, our shield against the winds of disorder, and our sword to cut through the illusions of turmoil. In a world where chaos is a weapon, our serene spirit is the ultimate countermeasure, a defiant stand against the forces that seek to destabilize the foundations upon which we build our lives. Let us be unwavering, unshaken, and unassailable Stoic warriors in the battle against chaos. Sign 5. Misery's companions. In the darkest corners of human nature, there exists a perverse trait that separates the malevolent from the merely misguided, a grim pleasure derived from the misfortunes of others. This schadenfreude, the joy at another's sorrow, is not just a passive feeling but an active engagement, a celebration of chaos and despair that feeds the ego of the wicked. These misery's companions thrive on the failures, pain, and downfalls of their fellow beings, seeing in each setback a twisted confirmation of their own superiority. Such individuals revel in the discomfort and disarray of others, orchestrating scenarios that maximize this suffering if it serves their ends. Their laughter echoes in the corridors of broken dreams and spilled hopes, a macabre melody that underscores their detachment from the basic empathies that bind human society. This delight in despair is a clear indicator of a deep-seated malice, a corruption of the soul that views the world through a lens smeared with spite. Against this backdrop of darkness, Stoicism lights a path towards prosocial behavior, steering the corrupted inclination of schadenfreude towards a more noble lane. The communal uplift, Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on virtue and the common good, teaches us to transform our initial reactions of envy or pleasure in others' misfortune into opportunities for support and empathy. Stoics understand that the fabric of a robust community is woven from threads of mutual aid and shared strength, not from the tattered remnants of individual failures. Stoic empathy is not merely about feeling with others, it is about acting on that empathy in ways that reinforce the bonds of community. It involves recognizing that each person's setback is a collective setback and each person's victory is a communal triumph. By fostering an environment where empathy is expressed through constructive support, Stoics challenge the very foundation of Schadenfreude. They replace the perverse pleasure of others' misfortune with the proactive, compassionate engagement that lifts all members of the community. And moreover, Stoicism teaches us to view the misfortunes of others, not as opportunities for superiority, but as calls to action. This shift in perspective is crucial. It turns potential envy or glee into a mobilizing force that galvanizes the community towards resilience and recovery. It is about transforming the energy of potential harm into the power of collective healing. In promoting these Stoic practices, we do more than counteract the toxic delight in others' pain. We build a community that is resilient, empathetic, and united. We forge a society where the misfortunes of one are shouldered by the many, where compassion overrides rivalry, and where the joy of one's fall is replaced by the helping hand of a neighbor. Let us then, as Stoic warriors, stand firm in our commitment to empathy and community. Let us transform every instance of Schadenfreude not into a moment of separation, but into a step towards unity. In doing so, we not only deny the misery's companions their cruel pleasures, but we also elevate ourselves and our communities to heights of shared success and mutual support. In this way, the Stoic path of empathy becomes our most potent weapon against the darkness of delight and despair. Sign 6. The Narcissistic Plague. In the theater of human vices, narcissism plays a starring role, especially among those with malevolent hearts. This narcissistic plague is not just a mild affliction of ego. It is a toxic spread that infects individuals and, through them, the communities they touch. Characterized by an insatiable appetite for admiration and a relentless strive for dominance, narcissistic individuals are driven not merely by a desire for attention, but by a deep-seated need to overpower and subjugate those around them. Narcissists craft their worlds as grand stages where they are the perpetual protagonists. Everyone else is relegated to the role of a spectator or worse, a pawn in their relentless pursuit of glory. This pursuit is marked by a callous disregard for the feelings and autonomy of others, viewing them merely as instruments in the orchestration of their personal symphonies of self-praise. Their charm can be magnetic, their intelligence sharp, but beneath this veneer lurks cold calculation aimed at bending every situation and every individual to their will. The danger of this narcissistic plague extends beyond the individual relationships. When such personalities ascend to positions of power, they have the capacity to reshape entire organizations or even societies into images of their dysfunctional selves, prioritizing adulation over genuine achievement and fear of respect. The ripple effects are devastating, creating environments where truth is obscured, potential is stifled, and genuine collaboration is replaced with coercive compliance. Against this backdrop of egotistical tyranny, Stoicism offers a powerful antidote: the virtues of humility and self-awareness. Stoicism teaches that true power lies not in dominion over others, but in mastery over oneself. It champions the idea that leadership is a responsibility to serve, not an opportunity to dominate. Stoic humility is not about self-deprecation. It is about recognizing one's place in the larger tapestry of humanity, accepting one's limitations, and valuing others' contributions as equally important to one's own. This Stoic humility is cultivated through a deliberate practice of self-examination and moderation. Stoics are encouraged to reflect regularly on their actions and motivations, asking not "how can I be admired?" but "how can I serve?" This shift in focus from self to community is fundamental in countering the narcissistic impulse, redirecting the desire for personal elevation to a drive for collective uplift. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us self-awareness, urging us to recognize the impact of our behaviors on others. This awareness acts as a check against the unbridled ego, reminding us that we are but parts of a greater whole. By fostering a sense of connectedness with others, Stoicism directly confronts the isolationist and divisivism, promoting a unity that is opposite to the narcissistic paradigm. In championing these Stoic virtues, we not only protect ourselves from the toxic influences of narcissistic individuals, but also contribute to the cultivation of healthier, more empathetic communities. By embodying Stoic humility and self-awareness, we stand as beacons of a different kind of strength, one rooted in service, respect, and a deep connection to others. Let us, therefore, as Stoic warriors in the modern age, commit to these practices of humility and self-awareness. In doing so, we strike at the heart of the narcissistic plague, replacing its destructive path with a trail of healing and communal strength. This is our charge and our shield, turning the tide against the tide of narcissism with the steadfast power of Stoic virtue. Sign 7. Betrayal as a tradition. In the shadowy annals of malevolence, betrayal emerges not merely as an act, but as a tradition deeply entrenched within the character of the evil-hearted. This treachery unbound is a deliberate choice, a pathway frequently traveled by those whose moral compasses are corrupted. Consistent dishonesty and betrayal from the bedrock of their interactions, eroding the trust that binds human relationships and unraveling the fabric of communal life. These practitioners of deceit do not view betrayal as a last resort, rather, it is their preferred method of operation. They weave webs of lies with the precision of a master craftsman, each thread a calculated placement designed to manipulate and control. Betrayal, for them, is not a momentary lapse in judgment, but a persistent state of being, one that ensures they remain unbound by the ethical constraints that govern others. Through such relentless treachery, they seek to gain the upper hand, exploiting trust as a weakness to be leveraged for personal gain. However, against this dark backdrop of duplicity, Stoicism stands as a bastion of integrity and trustworthiness. Stoic philosophy champions a life lived in accordance with virtue, where reliability and honesty are not merely traits but foundational pillars of character. Stoics understand that true strength lies in the consistency of one's word and the reliability of one's actions. In a world rife with betrayal, the Stoic commitment to trustworthiness becomes a revolutionary act, a beacon of hope that guides the lost and fortifies the weary. Stoic integrity involves more than just avoiding deceit. It is an active engagement in truth. Stoics teach that each promise kept, each truth told, strengthens not only the individual but also the community. This integrity is infectious, inspiring trust and fostering a culture of reliability that counters the chaos sown by betrayal. In embodying these principles, Stoics not only protect themselves from being victims of treachery, but also dismantle the very tools that the treacherous rely upon. Moreover, Stoicism equips us with the fortitude to face betrayal without succumbing to bitterness or despair. By focusing on what is within our control, our actions, our responses, our commitments, we maintain our equilibrium even when others falter. This Stoic resilience ensures that our spirit remains unbroken, our resolve unshaken, and our integrity intact no matter the storms of deceit that rage around us. In promoting Stoic integrity, we advocate for a life where actions are aligned with words, where promises are not mere utterances but sacred bonds. By upholding these Stoic virtues, we create an environment where betrayal finds no fertile ground to grow, and honesty is not an anomaly but the norm. Thus, as we navigate the treacherous waters where betrayal masquerades as tradition, let us cling steadfastly to our Stoic armor of integrity. Let this commitment to trustworthiness and reliability be our legacy, a legacy that challenges the tradition of treachery and builds a new tradition, one of steadfast honesty and unwavering virtue. In this way, we not only defy the culture of betrayal but also transform it, one Stoic action at a time. As we conclude our journey through the dark corridors of malevolence, we have uncovered the 7 sinister signs of an evil person: the mastery of manipulation, the void of empathy, the webs of deceit, the cultivation of chaos, the perverse pleasure in others' misery, the narcissistic plague, and the tradition of betrayal. Each of these traits reveals a facet of evil's multifarious nature, illustrating not just behaviors to beware of, but also the profound impact they have on individuals and communities. Now, armed with the profound insights of Stoicism, we are called not merely to recognize these signs, but to actively resist them. Stoic philosophy, with its unwavering commitment to virtue, offers more than just a shield against malevolence. It provides a robust framework for building a resilient and morally courageous self. By adopting Stoic principles, we cultivate an inner strength that stands firm against the manipulations and machinations of those who embody these dark traits. Let us, therefore, embrace Stoic vigilance and moral courage. Let these virtues illuminate our paths and guide our actions. We must not only guard against the encroachments of evil, but also proactively foster environments of honesty, empathy, and integrity. This is our call to Stoic action, a call to transform our understanding into a tangible force that champions good over evil, truth over deceit, and communal well-being over personal gain. In standing together, fortified by Stoic wisdom, we affirm that the power to overcome evil lies within each of us. Let us rise to this challenge with heads held high and hearts fortified by virtue. Let the Stoic spirit be our ever-burning torch, casting light into the shadows and revealing the path to a just and honorable life. Together, let us build a legacy of integrity and courage that defies the darkness and heralds the dawn of righteousness and truth.